An act of war. Those are the words of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo speaking about what he called Iran's attack on a Saudi oil facility. President Trump is ordering new sanctions on Iran as his top diplomat, Secretary Pompeo, continues to meet throughout the region. Correspondent Benjamin Hall reports tonight from our Middle East newsroom.
The pressure on Iran is mounting. Today, Saudi Arabia laid out evidence they say proved Iran was behind the attacks, displaying cruise missiles and drones they claim were used. Shortly afterwards, Secretary Pompeo flew to Jeddah to discuss the next steps with the Crown Prince, while U.S. investigators collected evidence on the ground at the attack sites. He accused Iran of acts of terrorism and war and risking the global energy supply.
There were blessed that there were no Americans killed in this attack, but anytime you have an act of war of this nature, there's always risk that that could happen.
In the U.S., President Trump has also ramped up the pressure, saying he had instructed the Treasury to substantially increase sanctions on Iran and warning of further action.
There's the ultimate option, and there are options a lot less than that.
Saudi Arabia's defense minister said 18 drones and 7 cruise missiles were fired from the north, though they were still working to discover the exact launch point, and he called on allies to back them against the threat.
Iran's continued aggression, sponsorship of terrorist groups, and interference in maritime commerce represent a common threat to us all.
The Iranians continue to deny involvement, saying the Yemeni Houthi rebels were defending themselves and that they don't want war, but adding they would retaliate to any attack.
It was Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, America, certain European countries, and the Zionist regime which started the war in this region.
Saudi Arabia says 50% of the oil production cut by the attack has now been restored, calming the markets and easing fears that emergency reserves need to be used. But few believe the threat has gone. The fact that Iran was able to bypass billions of dollars of Saudi Arabian air defenses and strike seemingly at ease at the largest oil facility in the world, well, that is now the grave concern. And certainly Saudi Arabia and the US will be discussing ways of bolstering those defenses. But other ways in which Saudi and the US can respond, well, they remain to be seen.